Good morning, everyone. My name is Andrea Pratt-Smith, and I am the founder of the Bahamas Agile and Project Management Community. I am an Agile project manager by profession and an Agilist. And I am so happy to be invited in studio to meet Mr. Finlayson in person.
Right.
The last time we were here, unfortunately, we had to be virtual.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And it's good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Good to see you. And now, who's this other young lady? This is Sophia Walker.
I am Sophia Walker. I am also a member of the Bahamas Agile and Project Management Community. I'm also a project manager, and I have a business where we provide solutions for companies.
Welcome. Good. Let's go right to the meaning of Agile. A lot of people will not understand that. So I'm going to ask you, the founder, to share for me, please, Andrea.
Well, when you talk about Agile and you think in terms of project management, you have the traditional project management, what follows the predictive life cycle, and then you have Agile and all the other frameworks that come underneath that type of project management. And basically, Agile just means that you incorporate an iterative and incremental way of executing projects versus a predictive model where you plan everything up front and then you start execution and implementation.
So it's different from the traditional project management.
Yes, it is. It's very different because the whole concept is you're providing value in a more timely manner. Instead of at the end of the project, which sometimes a project can take 2, 3 or more years, you are actually getting feedback from your customers right away, so you know that whatever you're building is what the customer actually wants. So because it deals a lot with complex products and services, so it's not your traditional project management, but follows a phases like construction.
Yes, yeah.
It's for complex projects.
Okay. So, Andrea, who would be an ideal candidate for your services?
Well, everyone.
Everyone. Okay.
Everyone.
Okay.
Everyone is a project manager, whether they want to accept the title or not. You don't have to have the credentials to be a project manager, because I'm always saying that your life is a project. By definition, a project is a temporary endeavor that produces a unique product, service, or result.
Love that.
And everyone's life is unique.
Yes.
Everyone's life is temporary.
Yes.
So if you take the definition of what a project is, then your life can be categorized and classified as a project.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Sophia, what are some of the projects you've worked on, if you can share 1 or 2 of them?
Well, like Andrea says, there are different things in your personal life that are projects. You're planning an event as a project. But as an entity, as a company of my own, some of the things that we do is, you want to build a website. You want to rebrand yourself as an entrepreneur or as an organization. There are many moving parts to that. You may want a website. You may want business cards. You may want to set up a social media presence. So all of that requires a strategy, and it can be a project. You have a timeline for it. You have a budget for it. You know what materials you want to use for it, whatever tools you want to use for it. So bringing all of those components together to complete an outcome or to achieve an outcome, that is the project. So it can be anything from setting up a business to having an event in your backyard.
Awesome. And we just were talking about backyard farming with
I heard.
Mrs.
I heard. I don't have a green thumb, but
you do?
No, I don't. But I have thought about it.
Andrea have a green thumb.
No. I killed my cactus, so.
Oh, really?
Oh, my.
Okay. What got you into this, Andrea? What got you into this area, Andrea Pratt-Smith?
Well, I feel like I've always been a project manager because I've always been someone who was conscious of time.
Yes.
Someone who was always conscious of budgets. And someone who just loved to plan. I love planning. I plan, when I was in university, I enjoyed doing my assignments. I planned it out.
You enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it.
Wow.
I am a...
Whereas others would frown and says, oh, my God, I have this paper to complete.
No.
Right?
I am a proud nerd. I will stand on the mountaintop and let you know that I'm a proud nerd. I love school. I love learning.
Yes.
And a part of being a project manager is you're continuously learning, because technology and items change every day. What you think is current now, next week or even tomorrow, there's a new product out there.
That's how quickly it changes.
Yes, you have to keep up with innovation.
Right.
And so my passion has always been learning. And so, that's just me.
That's good. That's good. Now, the cost factor. What is the cost factor involved? You can go from just estimates for your services. Somebody listening right now, watching us, says, man, I have this project, I need help, but I don't know if I could afford these people, or I have no idea what these things cost.
Well, for us as a community, what we try to promote is the knowledge, the training about how to become project managers, as opposed to, for us, we are entrepreneurs, and so our business services we can offer. But what we like to promote as a part of the Bahamas Agile and Project Management community is that we are here to support persons who would like to get into that field, persons who would like to understand how to become a project manager, whether it is as a career or just in how to manage your day-to-day life, how to manage all of the things that you do in life. So we provide training, we provide networking experiences, we have monthly meetups where we try to bring persons together to understand the concepts of project management. So that is what we try to do as a community. It is to build awareness of what project management can do for you, not necessarily as a career, but in managing your life and the things that are a part of your life.
Yes, good stuff. You speak of the community. Explain a little bit more about this community. Either one can take it. Andrea, you can take it.
Well, the Bahamas Agile and Project Management community is a vision that God instilled in me.
Awesome.
And it was formed on the 1st of June in 2021. We actually launched during the pandemic. So that's why we started with virtual meetups.
Yes.
And presently we have nearly 700 members that...
700?
700. But 80% of those persons are from the international community.
Okay.
And we have sponsorship from the Scrum Alliance, which is a non-profit accrediting organization in the U.S. And they are we are part of their Network Pro user group, so they provide us with assistance with our subscription costs in order to have our virtual meetups. And we try to offer international and local speakers to speak to our community members on a monthly basis. We meet virtually the last Thursday of every month from 6 to 7:30 p.m. But in addition to our meetups, we're now trying to get out in the public space in the Bahamas to let Bahamians know that we exist so they can take advantage of the services and the opportunities that we offer, because we're globally connected. We have a global presence.
Yes.
But Bahamians don't know that we exist, so they're not taking advantage of something that we have free of charge.
Free of charge, F-R-E-E.
With a capital F.
Yes.
Underline and highlighted.
Wow, didn't a lot of people don't realize it, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. So how do they access your services?
So we are definitely on social media. We are on LinkedIn. We're heavily on LinkedIn.
Andrea, she does a great job on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome job.
Promoting the community as well as all of the things related to it, Agile and project management. But certainly what we would like to offer more in the community is opportunities to work with teams, to train on project management, to do sessions on, what is Agile, what are the different methodologies that you could use. Andrea could talk about them all day, Kanban and Scrum, and, when our colleague Lee Lambert comes in, he will certainly speak to different certifications and all of the different components of the project management methodology. But we would like to train, we would like to support your staff, your teams, and we would like to come in if you need support in persons getting more experience or more understanding about how to do better project management. We certainly can do that. And as a community, that's what we want to do. We want to build awareness. We want to make sure that persons have better understanding of the principles, and we would like to come in and do that, and it's not about us getting paid per se to do it. If we can get support for the community, certainly.
Yes.
But our whole purpose as a community is to bring awareness to and promote what we do as project managers and help persons to become better project managers.
Awesome sauce. We have Nathaniel Pratt tuned in by Facebook. Says good morning, Kid Boy Jay tuned in, Betty Brown tuned in, saying good morning to you and your guests. Yeah, let's continue on. This is certainly exciting and different, Andrea, as Sophia just explained. So we just need to reach out to more people so they can have an appreciation for what you offer. And because in a lot of people's mind, when they hear project management, they think of the guy with the hard hat, with a clipboard and is building roads.
Or building buildings.
Or building buildings. But it's much more involved than that, eh?
Yes, it's I mean, the reality is project management and the field of agility encompasses every industry and every kind of organization you can think of. When you think about, I give the example of the COVID-19 vaccination.
Yes.
More than likely that was designed by a Scrum team because it had to been done so quickly. There's no time to implement a predictive cycle with that. You have to deliver the first implementation or the increment of that vaccine. Then you put that back into production after you do some testing, you get some feedback. And if that doesn't work, then you have to come up with another iteration. So,
wow.
That's how quickly project management and Agile works.
Fast.
You have to get that feedback. The feedback is very important because you want to know that what you're offering and what you're delivering is valuable and is what the customer wants and is actually a viable product. And sometimes technology can change so quickly. You can be working on a project, but by the time it gets to market, the customer has already changed their mind about what you're offering.
Wow.
And then you have a product that you don't need.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing.
And in this complex, changing world that we live in, the pandemic has taught us that we have to be innovative.
Yes.
We have to implement new ways of working.
Right.
And Agile tells us that they're the new way of working in the field of project management. The old way that we used to work with the command and controlism and having all the hierarchical systems,
right.
That fair structure, that way of working is gone because persons now want their flexibility, they want freedom, they want to be able to be creatives, they want to be innovators, and Agile allows them to learn about how to become the better versions of themselves.
Yes. Okay, that's great. Sophie, you wanted to add something? I saw you. I saw your brain ticking.
Only that, one of the things that we definitely want persons to understand is that project management is not just about construction and building roads, like you said.
Yeah.
It is very much, I wouldn't call it a stigma, but it is certainly in our culture when you speak project management.
That's
the first thing that comes to persons' minds. Engineering,
right.
Building roads, building buildings. And, we can use it in so many different ways across different organizations. And I think that's what we would like organizations and persons who are interested to understand. You can use project management for so many different things. If someone wants to build a website, like I mentioned before, if someone wants to implement a piece of software in a company,
yes.
all of that is you use project management skills to do that. It's about planning out what you want to achieve from the beginning to the end.
And working the steps.
Yeah, and making sure that you don't have to wait. You plan on a project that may take 6 months to complete all of the components, but you don't have to wait 6 months before you see results. And that's what Agile does. You can see usable results
as we go along the way. Yes.
You can use them. So, you build a piece, you finish a piece,
yes.
you can put that into production and use it, and then you move to the other pieces, as opposed to
waiting.
At the end of 6 months, then you see this thing and you realize
that's not it.
Not what I asked for.
Right, that's not
or the person who asked for it in the beginning, they may no longer be in the company, and so the new person says, "What is this thing? We don't need this."
Yeah, exactly.
So it's seeing immediate results along the way.
Speaking of that, how have companies been receptive in terms of you coming in doing some of your work?
Yeah. The training, I think people are receptive to.
Okay.
The term Agile, Andrea can speak to that a little bit more, and Lee certainly can speak. He's been around the world. But, the term Agile, I think, is very, very new in our environment. Some persons understand it. But I think the more we explain and the more we make people understand that it doesn't have to be overwhelming. It's just a different way of doing things so that you could see results earlier on. And so people are receptive, I think, to the concept, but I think you have to introduce it like everything. Rome wasn't built in a day. So you introduce it in phases so that they can see the results, as opposed to you just talking about the terminology and the jargon and the, you have to do this and you have to do that. No, I think you introduce the concepts in ways that they can absorb, and then over time, then they will start to speak the language as well.
Yes, and this is an entire community, as you always say, Andrea.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. What does it take for someone to become involved with you?
Good. I mean, you can join the community. We have meetups once a month, like we said, but you can always join the community online.
Yes.
And what we try to do is reach out and invite to different events that we try to put on. But we would really like to see more Bahamians reach out so that we can dialogue with them one-on-one to see how we can support whatever initiatives they may have, provide one-on-one training. Andrea is a certified trainer in many of the methodologies, and her and Lee will probably speak much more
to that. Okay. The numbers to call today, 325-5403, 325-5445, and our family island is 1242-300-8255. How have the government been receptive to assisting them with this great project that you have?
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the things that we would like to do, one of the
government's always doing projects.
It is,
there are
right?
always projects
As a matter of
going
fact, one of our events tomorrow evening, the minister will be bringing remarks, and one of the things that we'd like to probably speak to him about in depth, maybe not tomorrow evening
Yes.
while he's bringing remarks, but we definitely would like to reach out. We definitely would like to reach out to them to see how the community can support some of the initiatives, because yes, there are always major initiatives going on in the country. But you know, for us, it's not only about supporting a certain sector or a certain entity. It is also about supporting the everyday person who may say, you know, we want to get into project management. What can I do? So it is trying to help as many areas, individuals, as well as organizations, governmental sectors as possible. We have not made a very vigorous push in that direction so far, but that is certainly something that we intend to do.
Awesome. We have a call on the line. I'll take this call, and then we will end this segment so we can bring in Lee, as you call
Lambert.
Lee Lambert. Welcome, Dolly. Good morning. Good morning, Dolly.
Morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Dolly Ferguson calling all the way from Auckland.
Well, good morning to you.
Shout out to my cousin Andrea.
Yeah, she's right here smiling.
Doing a fabulous job. Congratulations to both of them. It's coming in from Dolly and Reg Ferguson over in Auckland.
She's talking to you.
Hi, Dolly. Love you.
Love you too, Dolly.
Okay, thank you. We have another caller. Mr. Adley, good morning.
Morning.
Welcome to Immediate Response. You're on.
Hello.
Yes, you're on, sir.
Yes. I say that the females are doing great work. Hats off to her. And I'd like to see them, you know, like she said, with the training program with the people empowering themselves. And we have to believe in ourselves, not to believe that somebody can do it to us, because we have a whole lot of creative skills that we can do as a person in the Bahamas that have so much opportunity for us to make so much money, you know, and we don't really have to look for nobody to do the work. I see since COVID, the amount of shops on Michael Road that people didn't know that they could be their own boss. And, you know, so much people have so much shops and stores on the sidewalk that they empower themselves. So I like to see what the ladies are doing. They, you know, they're really educating themselves in nursing, doctors, everything. Hairstylists, nail manicures. So the women are doing good. It's just for the guys to step up to the plate now and start fighting amongst themselves.
Thank you so much.
Hello.
Thank you, Mr. Adley.
Yeah, thanks, man. Nice show.
Thank you. I appreciate you, sir.
Okay, you're welcome.
God bless you. Thank you. Michelle Monroe says, good morning, ladies. You're a beautiful team. Beautiful teamwork. Thank you for coming again for the show. I was privileged to hear you speak before. That's from Michelle. Okay, I want to welcome a young man now to the Bahamas and to Immediate Response. Good to see you, Mr. Lee Lambert.
Glad to be here.
You look well, sir. Good to see you.
I think I'm holding up pretty well.
Yeah, now you have to be careful of this Bahamian sun. Because when I came here, I looked just like you.
Did you? Yeah. Well, you browned right up, didn't you?
You see what it did to me. But tell us your involvement with these beautiful ladies and the Agile movement here in project management.
I'm in the middle of a world tour promoting project management to around the country. And I realized from talking to Andrea that the Bahamas hasn't really blossomed like it should with the kind of things that are going on here. So a couple of years ago, we kind of collaborated, and she started this organization that they're involved in. So 2 years later, I'm stopping in to see how they're doing, and
awesome.
and I heard her throw out the number 700.
Yes.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
They are busy. They stay busy.
They are.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they keep me busy when I'm here.
Okay. I like they have a presence on social media. I always have an idea of what they're doing and so forth. So let's finish talk about you and your involvement, sir. What else are you doing?
Well, I'm a 55-year veteran of project management. See, I started when I was like 6 or so.
Yeah,
and
maybe. Yeah,
yeah. And so I've come up through the ranks all by looking to and listening to people who came before me, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to use my expertise and knowledge to share with other people so they can grow as I have.
Awesome, awesome. Where are you from originally, sir?
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio. Yep. I have a cousin in Columbus, and I just had a Bahamian worship leader on the show from Columbus, really? Ohio.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great town.
Yeah, so Ohio, it's a great place. Ohio State, go Buckeyes.
Go Buckeyes, absolutely.
Go Buckeyes. Yeah, so as I mentioned to the ladies earlier, when people think of project management, immediately what goes to their mind is a man with a hard hat, with a clipboard on his arm, on a construction site or a road building project. But it is so much more than that, eh?
Yeah, it is, but there's some irony here because the PMI organization, the institute that has 300 chapters, 700,000 members, is finding that constructions have been abandoned. Everything now is IT, information systems, information upgrades and infrastructure upgrades. And so they're actually instituting a program to reinstitute the focus on construction. It's an irony that...
That's a real irony.
I've never been able to understand it because that's really where we started. When this organization was formed in 1969, it was formed by 5 construction guys.
Oh, interesting.
And the next thing you know, that nobody knows anything about construction.
Interesting. What have you found, what are the stages in your mind of the 5 stages of project management?
Well, they identify, they plan, they resource, in other words, keep their status, and then they close out.
Yes.
Basically, and the process is the same. The beauty of what they're talking about is that they can do it incrementally. You don't have to wait till I thought about while you were talking. It's sort of like you're putting a driveway in your house. Mm-hmm. You don't have to wait till the whole driveway's done.
Right.
You can do it by section.
Excuse me.
Fundamentally the same kind of thing, and so I think that the 5 process groups are fine, but you got to remember the application. It may be iterative. You may be doing that over and over.
Okay. What are some changes you've seen over the many years in terms of project management? You've been around for what, 55 years?
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah, 55. 50. And the Bahamas is on the road to 50, so this ties right in.
There you go, ties in.
Yes.
No, what I've seen is the main difference is the availability of information systems to drive the decision making. Because what we try to do with project management is create an environment where decision makers can make the best, most informed decision. Well, with the information systems we have now, it's almost instantaneous. Where we used to have to wait. I mean, when I was young,
which was just a short while ago.
Yeah, which was just yesterday. I found that I sometimes have to wait a week or 2 weeks to get the kind of information I needed to support a decision. Now I can have it in 5 minutes.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's amazing change.
That's amazing. Wow. Amazing. How is it, Andrea and Sophia, to work with this great gentleman all the way from Columbus, Ohio, to be tutored by him and mentored by him? How is it, Andrea?
Well, I'm just enjoying my time with Mr. Lambert. Lee and I met less than 2 years ago virtually, and he has been such a great resource. His wealth of knowledge is limitless. Like, Lee knows everything there is to know about project management, and he speaks with his eyes closed, and he doesn't even have to think about it. It just comes naturally to him because he has so many years of experience. So for me to be able to sit down and have a conversation with him and kind of pick his brain, I'm just getting the best of the project management world. And it's such an honor and privilege because Lee is known around the world. I mean, I refer to him as a project management guru.
Yes.
And he's traveling the world as we speak. Mm-hmm. And he came on my invitation, and I said, Lee, I can't afford to pay you. We're a free community. We don't really charge memberships.
And what was his response?
Lee goes everywhere for free. Lee is a true volunteer, and he knows the value of volunteerism. So he's dedicated his life to helping project management communities. And you don't even have to be affiliated with the Project Management Institute. That's the beauty of it.
Okay.
Lee sees the value in the field and not just the chapters. So he's here volunteering and giving his time freely to us to help us with our awareness building campaign that we're trying to do in the Bahamas now that we can come outside of our homes. Hopefully, we remain COVID-free and we're able to do more in the public space and not just stay in the virtual world, because that's why we're here today, to bring awareness of what our organization is trying to accomplish and get buy-in from the Bahamian populace and let them see the value of joining us.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I want to just read something from my own research. Project management is often associated with fields in engineering and construction, and more lately healthcare and information technology, which typically have a complex set of components that have to be completed and assembled in a set fashion to create a functioning product. It goes on to say, no matter what the industry is, the project manager tends to have roughly the same job: to help define the goals and the objectives of the project and determine when the various project components are to be completed and by whom. They also create quality control checks to ensure completed components meet a certain standard. Lee Lambert, speak about that for me, please.
Did I write that?
It sounds like, I believe you did.
I believe I did.
I believe you did.
I think that you're going to see in the next few years a real blossoming of the idea of what a project manager does. I think those studies recently have shown that over the next 5 or 6 years, we're going to need over 20 million new project people. And
20 million?
20 million. That's opportunities for a lot of people.
Yes, sir.
And they're really well-paying jobs. I mean, they recognize the importance of the job, and they're reimbursed associated that way. But what we see is that people have begun to see, hey, project management's a lot bigger than we once thought it was.
Yes.
It's inclusive. It's a necessary part of running a business.
Right.
So I think the future is extremely bright. Unfortunately, probably only have another 30 or 40 years myself.
Or 50.
Well, maybe 50.
Yeah.
But I think the future's big.
Yes.
And that's why I love to come and talk to these people who have the same passion I do.
Right.
They just sometimes don't know how to funnel it, how to channel that to the right place.
Now, Lee Lambert, is project management an area where you decide, like, to be an accountant, you go to a certain thing, CPA, engineer, what have you? How does one decide they want to be a project manager?
I've had that question a couple times on this tour.
Yes.
And to me, if I were looking for a project manager, one of the first places I'd look is any job in the organization where I have a high level of performance.
Yes.
That person's probably practicing project management. Doesn't know it. Doesn't call it that.
Yes.
But he's practicing it. So I can take that person and convert them into a project manager in a heartbeat.
So it's based on performance.
Yep.
Yeah, high level of performance.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. What does project management and the Agile movement do for persons who are slackers in organizations, who are not productivity driven? A number of organizations have some slackers, Lee Lambert.
Yeah, well,
how does this work with them?
It's a problem in every organization. You've always got what I think your term was slackers. We call them other things. But
okay. This is a family show.
Yeah, I know. I did. That's why I was careful. But what I found, I have a reputation for developing high performance teams. And so you can, and in fact, I used to tell people, give me all of your, I call them dregs, give me the people who just aren't performing, and I'll convert them into high performance.
Wow,
the way you do that is by using project management to clearly identify objectives, and then measure performance against
it. Yes.
Not for their raise, not for their position, so they feel good about their accomplishment. They go home at night saying, I got a lot done today.
Yes.
And that converts them into this high performance team.
That's a good answer, because there are lots of people who come to work every day and they're really not hitting the targets. They're not doing anything. They're just there. They show up, but they're not hitting the targets.
That's right.
They're not making a difference. They're not getting the basic things done. And I'm a big football fan, and it's like the kicker who has a 20-yard field goal to hit to win the game, and he misses that. You only have one job, Lee. One job, and you can't get that right.
Yeah.
Something is wrong with that. I have a gentleman I need to get a quote from right now on Facebook. Denzel Roll, he says, blessings to all. I have been recently doing some reading on Agile project management, and it is a new wave for the future. The 5-step process is an excellent way of achieving results, and all areas of society should embrace it to get better and improve results. Thank you, Denny. Sanjana McLean says good morning, and she's enjoying this program. All right, anything else you'd like to add, Lee? Lee Lambert?
No, the only thing I want to add here, since I'm in the Bahamas, is for people in the country to begin to realize the potential. As you begin to develop this country further, the need for project management is going to explode.
Good stuff.
And you don't want to get third parties from offshore. You want to bring in local people. You want to have local people
who understand the culture and everything else.
Culture, language, all the variables that you get when you move out.
Right.
It's one of the problems I'm finding in my world tour. People understand it, but they don't really get it. There's a difference.
There's a difference.
They don't really get it.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Lee. Andrea, you want to add something to that?
Well, I just want to add that tonight we're having our first hybrid meetup at the University of Bahamas in conjunction with the University of Bahamas and the American Corner. And like Sophia mentioned earlier, Senator the Honorable Michael Halkitis will be joining us, and he's going to be giving the opening remarks, and then Mr. Lambert will be presenting on project management and Agile, and is there really a difference?
Yes.
Because a lot of persons, they get confused about project management and then agility, and you know, he's going to explain that for you tonight. So I think we have a few more online tickets available. The event is free.
F-R-E-E.
Yes.
Capital,
underline, and highlighted.
Okay.
So the event is free, but unfortunately, capacity is almost near max.
Okay.
We do not have any more in-person seats available because the University of Bahamas will be having their students in the auditorium with us. And so right now, we only have capacity for persons to join us virtually online, and we're going to be live streaming. So you can get tickets via our meetup page. Go to meetup.com and search for the Bahamas Agile and Project Management Community. You will see our event on that page, and you can just sign up and join us remotely, and we'll keep you posted on whatever our future events are, and you could always join us at our virtual meetups that we have monthly.
Good stuff. Camille Johnson says, good morning, Bishop and guests. I'm enjoying the show. The ladies are fantastic. But what about Lee?
Yeah, what about Lee? What am I, dog meat?
we have 2 minutes left, okay? So I'm gonna leave it with Lee.
Okay.
You did mention tonight's function, though. Yes. That's very important. I'm gonna give you the full 2 minutes to wrap us up today.
Wow, what an opportunity!
Yeah, Columbus, Ohio, in the house.
Go Bucks!
Go Buckeyes!
That's what we have to remember. Great opportunity to see this kind of support for this program. Being able to be on radio shows, TV shows. It's been a media blitz since I've been here, to tell you the truth.
And you're a darling of the media.
I am. I am indeed, and other things. And so you look at that, and you have to realize that if someone can focus, as I have, on this concept of project management and turn it into a lifestyle, it's a lifestyle,
yes.
No doubt about that, and do it in a way that, by the way, you make a lot of money. Not me, I volunteer everything, but some people do. That the opportunities are unlimited. And I think with the idea that there's going to be 20 million open opportunities in the next 4 or 5 years, I think everybody's going to be able to take advantage of that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you all for coming in here today and sharing this valuable information. I appreciate you. Thank you for flying in all the way from Columbus, Ohio. Go Buckeyes. And Andrea, thank you. Sophia, thank you. Coming up next is Henry Butler from Tab Therapy, and immediately following